So hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Divine Rich and Free Life, the place to be if you want to ignite your inner power and lead your life with more flow, passion and joy. My name is Moni Rodriguez. I'm an author, a speaker and a women's leadership coach, and I'm very excited today because I have Helen Reynolds here, who is an image consultant, and I really was looking forward to have her in the space here because I feel that her work is really obviously impacting the outside, but mostly what happens then is that when we really know how to work with the style that works for us, the colors that work for us, and we are ready to really go into that transformation, everything transforms. And that's what happened with me. I obviously worked with her it will be 2.5 years ago. It feels a long time, but it really felt for me that I was in a space where I wanted to show more like who I truly was, but I was not feeling confident about how to put my clothes together or how can I enhance who I am, because I think one of the things that Helen says is that you don't need to be a model or like anyone can actually shine with the right style. So welcome, Helen. I would love to introduce yourself and just let everyone know how you got into doing this work and why you are so passionate about image and helping people to offer expert style advice to women and I guess men, some men maybe.
No, I only choose to work with women actually, but there's lots of other brilliant image consultants that work with men, so that can be their thing. So thank you so much for having me here, first of all. And I suppose I never set out to become an image consultant, really. Like, it wasn't ever a dream or anything, but when I was growing up, I always loved clothes. I was always buying clothes. And what I started to tune into, especially probably from my teens onwards, I started to notice that I would put on what I thought was a really nice outfit. And sometimes I'd look in the mirror and feel, yeah, this works. I feel great in this. And it really started to affect it. I noticed that it would change my behavior or have an influence on my behavior that day. So in my 20s, for example, when this was going on and I was working for a magazine publisher, the days where I felt like I'd really nailed it and I've got a really cool outfit on, I'd definitely behave as a bigger person, bigger version of myself. So I'd be more confident, I'd share ideas, I'd go along to meetings, I'd be visible, I'd be really happy to be visible. But then on other days when I would, I'd put together what I thought was a really lovely outfit, or maybe in the shop when I was buying it, I thought it was a really good outfit, or maybe I'd seen it on someone else and thought, oh, I want to look like them, I want to look that cool. So I'd buy a different type of outfit and I'd put that on. And when I looked in the mirror, sometimes I'd go, oh, I don't suit this outfit. But because of those things that we all have in our heads, every time that happened, I would think to myself or say to myself, I'm not pretty enough for this outfit, I'm not cool enough, I'm not slim enough, whatever derogatory thing I could think of, it was my fault that outfit didn't work, is how I felt. And I'd wear them anyway, I'd wear those outfits anyway, but I would go to work as a smaller version of myself. And if I could get out of going to a meeting, I would get out of going to a meeting. I didn't want to be visible. And then roll on several years, that was kind of a big period of my life feeling like that. And then I had my babies, and suddenly I wasn't getting up and going to work every day, didn't know what to wear as a mum, still wanted to feel good, didn't know what the uniform was for being a mum. And I found an advert for an image consultant that lived close to me. And I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know that people could get help. I thought, yes, celebrities and famous people, they get all their style, personal stylists and everything. So I went along and got some advice, and it really opened my eyes to the fact that this is a thing. And the advice I now know, because I now know what I now know, the advice I got was quite small, quite limiting. It helped a little bit, but it wasn't brilliant. And the thing that really stuck with me was that the person that I chose to go with, she was a really lovely lady, but she wasn't brilliant at motivating or making me feel better about, I'd gone in with all these issues about my tummy and this, that and the other, and she was so kind of sticking to the textbook way of doing what she was taught to do. I actually, part of it, I came out feeling a little bit worse about certain parts of my body because of boxes that she ticked and things like that. And I remember saying to my husband at the time, you know, I don't know how to tell someone what to wear, but I feel like I could have done a better job of making somebody feel good, because one of my natural skills is being with people and making them feel good about themselves and motivating them to make change. And blah, 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 a few years later, I was ready to go back to work, didn't want to go back to London, commuting full time, all the rest of it. And I said to my husband, you know, I wish I could think of something I'm really naturally good at so that I could, you know, do something that I'm really passionate about. He said, well, you're really good at shopping. You're really good at buying clothes. Like, oh, I wonder if I could do what she did. And the more I looked into it, the more I was like, wow, this is me. This is what I'm meant to do. And I went along and I did all the training because I didn't know how to advise people on colours and body shape and everything, but I learned it all. And through that process, I learned more about my own true style. And that's the version of learning that I really embraced and just thought, yes, I've arrived. I know exactly what my style is. I feel so different in my clothes now. There were certain pieces missing. And that was 10 years ago. So I've been doing this for other women for 10 years and it is such a joy. And like you say, it's not really about the clothes. It's about how that transforms and it just makes that person feel like a new woman and motivated to go on and do what she's born to do, you know, be more visible, live life bigger and bolder. It's wonderful.
I love it. I'm so excited like to hear all of this, because obviously you went into your own self-discovery, you became a mom, and then it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And actually other people, sometimes they see it so clearly. Like,
some people just work it out.
Like, but because sometimes we tend to think it's a hobby or something that other people will do, but actually one of my passions is also helping women to find like what brings you joy and passion, because that's where your gift lies. Obviously, sometimes we go into our own heroine journey to find yourself back to who you truly are. And see, you say that since you were a child, you were a little girl, you were dressing, or you were always into that, but sometimes you feel like, oh, but I wouldn't be able to make money from something that I truly enjoy, or give myself permission to believe that actually and actually that's why you got like your practice, and you are helping women in business and so many amazing things you are doing, because it just shines through your passion and through your authenticity. And obviously you get your training, but I think the mix of having the passion and having the training is what blends the magic together. So can you tell me a little bit more on how you actually find what works or what doesn't work with people? Like, you have obviously your training, but like obviously we're not going to do here a style session. That's why we have other things from you that people can get. But like, just how actually you know that something works and something doesn't, because you can see that something really doesn't make you feel so feeling into the clothes, and seeing that you doesn't make you feel amazing. But how do you choose? How do you avoid mistakes sometimes, you know?
Yeah. So before I did my training, I was a little bit nervous that I wouldn't get it and I wouldn't be able to do it, because I assumed that it would just be like this creative flair and, darling, put this scarf with this thing and that'll look fabulous. And I thought, I don't know if I can do that. But actually, what I loved from day one of the training, it's actually quite logical. And obviously there has to be some creativity and ideas around inspiration around how to use your style rules. And I use the word rules really loosely. I always say to clients, when I teach them what suits them, it's not the law, and you don't have to stick to it 100% of the time. It's fun, you play with it, it gives you direction when you're shopping to know, I won't buy that one, I'll buy that one because that one's my colour, or I won't buy that one because it's not going to make me look as good body shape wise or whatever. So it's direction. But actually the process of deciding what suits somebody is quite logical. And, you know, as you experience, we start with colour analysis, which is based on people's skin tone. I'm trying to hide my nails because they desperately need doing. I'm trying to keep my nails in. Eye colour, skin tone and hair colour, we're all totally different. And it's how they work together that will decide what tones and shades and brightness or darkness or lightness of colours really do lovely things to your complexion, make you look fresher and younger and healthier. And so that's science, basically. It's what a colour does when it reflects on you. So that takes quite a lot of training. That was quite hard to learn to do, but is once you've nailed it, it's brilliant. And then it's things like you know, things that I can share with your followers today is things like working out how your bone structure is. And very typically, obviously there's always differences in people who have slight quirks and things, but very broadly speaking, our skeletons are either very straight or they're curved. So if you have a very straight skeleton or bone structure, you might have quite straight shoulders and a straightness to your waist. And I'm not talking about size or how much weight anybody's carrying. It's about what's underneath the flesh. But you know, regardless of how slim or big you get, you don't really go in at the waist, and perhaps your hips are quite narrow in comparison. And that's what I would call a straight figure type. And that's where I fall. And those sorts of people will always look better in straight lines, so a V-neck or a square neck, or maybe an asymmetric neck that's got, you know, lines and corners, and straightness around the waist. And there's so many, even the points of your shoe, the shape of your shoe. A square toe is going to work better in a block heel than a curved toe. And then the reverse of that is the curved bone structure, where people tend to have more sloping shoulders, a real difference in terms of the size of the waist to the hips. So curved, smaller waist, lovely curves around the hips and bottom and thighs perhaps. And they follow the opposite. So you basically follow the way that your body is. So you'd go with a round neck, and you'd show off that waist through the cut of your clothes, or by adding belts or details to bring attention to the tummy. And you choose clothes that are cut for your figure type. And, you know, to me, when I was learning all this, I was like, God, that's so logical. Why didn't we know this? I was forever trying to follow the advice that I was reading about always cinching your waist to make yourself look thinner. And I'd put a belt around my middle and look at myself and go, I look like a sack of potatoes. I don't understand why I can't make this work. And it's because it's not true. We're all different. So there's so many different things, but a lot of it is actually quite logical.
Yeah, but no one teach you this, to be honest. And I was trying to fit, because I'm quite curvy, and, you know, I have a thin waist, but then I have a kind of bigger hips. And obviously, I learned what suits me, and now I'm very mindful when I choose an outfit, especially dresses, because dresses are, and I know dresses look better on me. Sometimes I will wear trousers, but it really gives you so much confidence to choose also the quality of the piece, you know, of that thing, because you know you're investing in something. So maybe we could touch about like quality of clothes as well, because I was thinking now I'm very passionate also about the global goals and sustainability, and we have all this quick fashion, and I'm not saying that, you know, there might be conscious brands out there as well, but you know, when you know really what suits you, you have more confidence to invest in a higher level. But also, you know, this dress, you will wear it not once but twice, and also some people think, oh, but you know, I'm not going to be seen all the time with the same clothes. But for me, it's about what makes me feel like, if I have my red dress on it and I feel amazing, I don't care if it's seen many times, because that's my signature dress anyways, you know. So can you talk about that quality of clothes and why people should consider that as well as part of their lifestyle as well? Not only sustainability, but also how much difference it makes to look at the designer or the quality of the fiber, you know, if it's natural or synthetic and all these things.
Well, there's so many things I want to share on this. I don't know when you're going to be sharing this interview, but I'm just at the moment putting together a webinar, a free online style class for next week. And it's all about, the title of it is Guilt-Free Style.
I love it. I was sharing before that. So if we can share it before that.
We can put a link. Can we put a link to the thing? It's too long to mention, but it's Guilt-Free Style, how to be sustainable without losing or without compromising your style, I think is what I've called it. There's so many things to think about. There are sustainable brands out there. You know, we have to change our habits. There's no question. The world can't support what we're doing now. The fashion industry is such a polluter. But there's so many. What I wanted to put this webinar together for, this class together for, is because I know for me, when I started hearing about this problem, I was like, oh, but I don't want to just wear like linen and beige, and that doesn't excite me, and I love wearing my bright colours, and I love wearing my lovely clothes, and I felt a bit like torn, like I want to save the planet, but I want to still enjoy clothes because it's my passion. And I've put together this class, and it shares so many things that we could all be doing to change habits, about changing habits. They're not difficult things to do. But in my mind, the number one, she says with two fingers, the number one thing we could be doing that would make the biggest difference is to learn what suits you, as you have done. And like you say, when you know what suits you, you're more discerning when you're choosing what you're buying. You buy something and you wear it, it makes you feel good, so you wear it again and it makes you feel good. And there is nothing wrong with wearing the same things over and over. We need to get over this. There's nothing wrong with it. I've got a big wardrobe full of clothes that I love because I've been collecting them for 10 years since I learned about my own style, and I wear all of it. I still, sometimes nowadays I've worn things out, which, you know, I never used to do. I never used to wear anything out. I'd get bored of it and get rid of it, or sick of wearing it. So now I wear things until they fall apart. And like you say, when you know what suits you, you're happier. Usually people are happier to spend a bit more, go with better qualities. It's going to last you for longer. It's probably not been made in a sweatshop with child labour and all the terrible pollution and all the polluting of rivers in the countries I mean, it's just shocking. So most people are then happier to spend a bit more on each piece because they know they'll get the wear out of it. They know they're not making style mistakes anymore. And we win because we feel amazing. We have more fun with our style because we learn how to mix and match things. So we don't save things for best. We might wear this is a lovely silk shirt that I wear with jeans and trainers sometimes, or I wear under a suit if I'm dressing up. You stop saving things for best. You start wearing everything. You have more fun with it. It feels brilliant because you're saving the world and you're feeling good. So to me, it's just a no-brainer that you've got to change these habits and you've got to learn. You don't have to, it sounds dreadful, but to educate yourself on what suits you if you haven't worked it out yourself is probably the best money and time investment you could make.
Of course, it's like you buy less clothes, you wear what it makes you feel good, but also it's like one-time investment, right? Because then once you know it, you know it. And for me, like, it was amazing to know. Obviously, I'm spring, but I'm now wearing today. I'm wearing more like kind of more winter.
Amazing, yeah.
But I know, like, there's some things that, you know, like, it suits you. And now I know I step, like, I'm totally away from autumn and summer clothes. And now I understand, like, because it made me feel like, you know, very, like, my skin and everything, it was looking like if I had a sad day, you know. And I know when I put my orange tones or like very bright colors, obviously I'm all about joy. So it's even better, you know, and it brings this light in me. And I see other women, you know when they are feeling amazing because they have the right fit, they have the right color, and it just makes a big difference. But also it makes you, like, discern when you are in the shop. I used to be so confused as well because, you know, I would love to see, like, I've seen those dresses that are very straight, you know, but I would be like, wearing them, it makes me feel very bad because it's like, I don't look good on this, but it's actually not
hiding your waist.
Yeah. And now I have those dresses that, you know, it's just enhancing my waist. And when you learn these things and you try it, and then you see that it really makes a difference in the way you can confidently buy something that you know you will wear, right? And that's why because there's so many of us that, how many times did we have clothes that we don't wear? We have it in the wardrobe and it's with the label, you know? So any tips on this? Is like, you know, can you prepare shopping in advance? Obviously, once you know what your shape is or you know who you are, like, do you do any preparation before you go into shopping rather than going unconsciously and buying anything?
For myself or for my clients, you mean?
You and maybe some.
Yeah, I mean, I look online all the time, and I mean, I don't anymore research. If I'm taking a client personal shopping, I don't need to research too much anymore because you get a feel for the brands that you want to put somebody in. So we just do very efficient shopping. But if I can just go back to what you were just saying about labels and things still in your clothes. And obviously I've been doing quite a lot of research this week because of this style class I'm doing next week. And one thing that really I didn't know before, and I certainly have been guilty of this in the past, is I would buy stuff, not really like it that much. I might wear it once and then think, actually, I don't like it, or maybe change my mind, don't like it, never got to return it. And I think, well, it's okay because I'll give it to charity. I'll just give it to charity. And I take bags of stuff to charity every few months, big bags of stuff that I'd bought and not worn. But actually, the charity shops can't keep up with the amount of stuff that they're being donated.
Wow.
Some of it, a small proportion of it, will go on hangers and go in the shop. A lot of it gets sent abroad, so that's air miles and, you know, more pollution. And some of it will get recycled to be used as rags and things, but actually fabric can only be recycled a certain number of times before it can't be recycled anymore. So at the end of the day, the end of all of these life cycles, it's back in landfill again. So the only way, you know, sustainable brands is brilliant, all the rest of it, but the only way to really start making a difference is we need to stop buying so much. We need to buy less. We need to know where we're going to wear it, how we're going to wear it. We need to blooming well wear it for years and years and years and years and love it and cherish it, and then think about selling it or giving it to charity for somebody else to enjoy. You know, it just can't be a regular cycle of buy, don't wear, send to charity, buy, don't wear, send to charity. It's not only a waste of money, it's actually the charity shops are struggling to keep up with I think it was Bernardo's, the one that I was reading about. They get 100,000 tons, if I've remembered that right, of clothes every year, and they can't deal with it all.
Wow.
It's not the perfect solution.
Thank you for sharing that, because it's very eye-opening as well, like just to think about the whole thing of, yeah, sometimes we feel better thinking, oh, well, this will go to charity, someone else will use it, but actually, yes, I hear a lot recently when I go to look, because I like old, you know, kind of, you know, also decoration and things. I like vintage stuff, but when I go to vintage stuff, sometimes now that I'm moving from the UK, I was saying, okay, are you looking for buying new things? And they say, well, no, because we have too much stock already, you know. And I was thinking, well, I might just skip it, right? But I like to just think, when I was in Notting Hill, you know, they have all these antique shops, and they really have a struggle, I think, because mostly people buy it online as well. But yeah, I think there is maybe it's easier to click on, you know, buy when you are online, and maybe we should be more mindful as well on what we buy online. You told me already when I met you that you buy quite a lot online as well, most of the brands you love. So any things about online shopping that you want to share on how you make smart? Obviously, you know the shape, so you can see that. What's the percentage of amount of mistakes that we can do online shopping, or do you think it's the safest, most conscious way to buy, because then you know what you want to look for? Or
I don't know, it's hard, isn't it? Because shopping online, it then gets delivered, and often it's in non-recyclable packaging. We end up with all these boxes, and so I don't necessarily feel equipped to say that's better than that. But what I've got a really good system for my own online shopping. So what I do is, every season, I will really, at the end of a season, I'll think, well, what have I really enjoyed wearing? And I'll make a note, because by next time winter comes around, I've forgotten. So what have I really enjoyed wearing? Is there anything I didn't have that I could have done with? So I can't remember if it was last winter or the winter before, I realised I hadn't actually got some lovely black everyday ankle boots. And I really, every time I was putting together an outfit, I was like, oh, I just wish I had a pair of black ankle boots. And I never got around to finding any. So I wrote that down as something to look for this winter. Actually, I've got my years wrong, but it doesn't matter, it's the principle. So I write down, what have I enjoyed wearing and worn a lot of, what sorts of things, what have I missed, what could I do with, what was getting a bit tatty, a bit worn, and what have I worn out that I might want to replace next season. And then when the new season starts, so the next time winter comes around, for example, right at the beginning, when I'm signed up to all the emails, when all the emails start dropping and the little catalogues all of these start popping through the door, I start having a look, and anything that catches my eye, I don't immediately buy it. I put it on a Pinterest board. Pinterest is just brilliant.
I love
Pinterest board that's for my autumn's winter style and for my spring summer style. I'll find it online, I'll save it onto there, and that gives me space to think about it. If it's brand new it's not going to be sold out. Well, most things aren't going to be sold out in 5 minutes. So it gives me time to think about it and reflect. And then sometimes you might get a discount code through on an email, so I might go back to my Pinterest, or I might just feel, I mean, I love shopping. I might just think, oh, I want to buy something. I've had a success at work. I'm just going to treat myself to something lovely. And I'll go back onto my Pinterest board. And when I go back to it, there's often a couple of things that I've chosen, and I think, actually, I don't really like that. And I delete it, and I haven't bought it. And then I'll find the thing I want to treat myself to, and I'll make a really considered purchase, use that discount code and buy it. Or I might go into the shop and try it on and decide, it depends what I'm doing and whether I'm out and about. But it slows down that process. You're not just, when I was in magazines, I used to work in Soho in London, and I spent every lunch out pretty much, me and my friend, in and out of the shops, spending our wages, coming home with bags full of stuff. It was so bad. And I didn't know what suited me, so I was just buying and buying. And now, like, you must find this too, when you know what suits you, you go in a shop and you go, nope, I would have bought that, but I know it won't do anything for me. That can stay behind. You just seek out the stuff that's right.
It saves you time, energy, and confusion, right? Because, like, I know which colors, definitely, and it's so simple, but if you don't know, you don't know, right? And then you have your color coding, you know, you can go even with that and shop with that. So I found it very helpful, and yeah, it's just like simple little things that make a big difference as well. And I want to close maybe with, before we share your stuff, because I didn't know you had this webinar coming, but
I forgot to tell you.
Reason for me to share it, because I'm so passionate about sustainability and mindful shopping as well. But like, yeah, what I wanted to share, and I just forgot, it was mostly about the confidence thing, you know, like what sort of transformation you have seen in people, like, especially because you work only with women, and I know very much that we don't feel good about it, but like, do you think it's impacting as well any other areas of your life? It's not just about being seen more, but do you think how this can transform you in other places, you know?
So different clients, you know, over the years I've seen so much amazing. So off the top of my head, I had a lady who I got to know through a business mentoring group I was in, who kept saying, I really want to work with you, but I want to lose weight. I really want to work with you, but I'm going to lose weight first. And she said, after 2 years of not losing the weight, you know, losing a bit, putting it back on, she said, you know what, I'm just going to work with you because this isn't happening. And so we worked together, and she wasn't massively overweight, but she was uncomfortable in her weight she was. And she said, so we did her transformation day, and the next time I saw her, which was quite a few months later, she lost all this weight. I said, what's happened? What have you done? And she said, do you know what, Helen? I felt so amazing in my clothes. I decided I wanted to look really amazing out of my clothes, without my clothes on. And that was starting to feel good about herself made her think, right, what else can I improve? I'm going to improve my nutrition. I'm going to feel. It was amazing. It's like when you clean out one kitchen drawer and it's all organized, you think, oh, what else can I tidy? So that was a lady called Sally. And then what else have I seen? I've seen people find love, you know, people who want to, you know, they've maybe been divorced or widowed, and they have been on their own for a while, and they've lost their confidence, and they're maybe dating in their 50s, and it just feels terrifying to be putting themselves out there. So they want to feel confident, feel gorgeous, feel sexy, maybe in an appropriate way. And then I've seen them go out and start online dating and finding love. And another one, what was I just thinking? Another one just popped into my head. Oh, promotion. So again, another one of my fabulous clients. She's had a really good job, and we worked together. She did my VIP program, which is over 4 days, so it's quite an intensive, you know, wardrobe, shopping, mixing and matching, all the rest of it. She went back to work, and she had been looking for a promotion, and she got promoted, and her MD actually said to her, in the last few weeks, you've looked like I don't know what position it was, you've looked like a director, and that's played a big part in us feeling that you're ready. So she looked like she was the part, and she got the promotion. So that's weight, that's career, and that's relationships. It can transform anything you want it to transform, because again, it's not the clothes. The clothes actually don't really matter so much as how you carry yourself. You know, it's that inner feeling of, I'm good enough, I feel beautiful, I feel good, I want the world to see me as I really am. And that's what makes the difference. It's not really, if you're wearing fabulous clothes that suit you and still walking around like that, no one's going to see you.
Yeah, you're right, but it's about knowing what suits you, just give you this confidence and trust that you are put together, and obviously it makes you feel instantly better to wear the right fit or the right colors, and everything goes together. But like, I wanted to talk about this because it's like, sometimes you feel about like fashion being superficial, which it tends to be, because it's this external part of us, but at the same time, it can really transform you, like in many ways, like the outcomes you get in life, like things that you want to achieve. It happened to me about the weight as well. I think I worked first with you, and then it's a process, you know. I want to improve this area of my life because I was thinking I deserve this. This is an investment for me. It's an investment in me, but also it's a knowledge that I can always, sometimes I will get it right, sometimes I will get it better, but then because I have the structure, it always, it gives you clarity, I think, as well. And having clarity gives you a lot of confidence as well, that you are making the right choices. So that's why I thought, let me share how important it is for us women to really look at this part of us, like style, and also being conscious of what we buy and how we can enhance who we really are, because we are beautiful already, but we can just show it to the world in a different way. So so Helen, how people can get to know more what you are doing, or what do you do to get people in your cycle, because you share a lot of things. As you say, you are doing a webinar next week, but you do this kind of work, free offerings for people, and then obviously you have services. So
I've got so many things. So probably, if I'm brand new to you, the best place to start is to visit my website, which is helenreynoldsstyle.com. And the first thing you come to on my homepage is a little video and a sign up box, and you can sign up there for a free video series. And that will give you a video each day for 5 days, and then a couple of follow-up emails. And each video focuses on a different element of style. So we talk about color, we talk about body shape, we talk about how to know what your true style is, accessorizing, and something else which I can't remember, maybe texture, I can't remember, maybe print. So that's totally free, and you can sign up to that. And when you sign up to that, you also get the option of signing up to my regular mailing list, where I send out a style blog twice a month. It'll be things that are in the shops at the moment. It will be things that are relevant to the time of year, style-wise, just all my musings and ideas and inspiration. And also, if you're on that list, you then obviously get notified if I'm running I do a live event once a year in London. I do these online style classes. So there's lots and lots of free stuff. There's lots of lower end entry level learnings. There's an online program. And then of course there's my one-to-one work. But I always think it's best, you need to get to know me and my methods and what I'm teaching, and whether that feels like a right fit for you. So always start off with that free video series and get a taster, and just see if it lights you up.
I love it. So I will put the links below also for the webinar that you are running next week, right?
Yeah, next week on Thursday. It's 1 till 2 on Thursday the 14th, and it's a Zoom webinar, so we can send a link out for people to register. There will be a recording, but you need to register to get the recording.
I will register because I'm interested on those things about the sustainability, and also I didn't know all this research that you have been doing, so I think it's very up to date on it's very important, to be honest. It's one of the sustainable goals. So thank you so much, Helen, for being here. I really love talking to you and getting these sharings for people to get to know how they can just ignite more of their self with choosing the right style for themselves. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.